and welcome to the Highline with Liam Anderson Motorsports. I'm Jenny Funk. I am the Communications Manager and Marketing Manager for Liam Anderson Motorsports, LLC.
Hi, I'm Liam Anderson, driver of the number 18 Coyote chassis for the Maryland Sprint Series.
Hi, I'm Sean Anderson. I'm Liam's dad. I'm the crew and car chief for Liam Anderson Motorsports.
And we're going to be talking a little bit about Liam today and how he got into the Maryland Sprint Series.
Hi, I'm Liam Anderson, driver of the number 18 Coyote chassis. I want to say thanks to Crouch Auto Body for sponsoring us this season. You can call Crouch at 410-398-9420 or visit them online at crouchab.com for all your auto body needs.
Okay, Liam. So, of course, as your aunt, I know a little bit about you, and I know that you are interested in becoming a NASCAR driver in the future. Can you tell me when you remember first being interested in NASCAR?
Well, first thing I remember is when I was 4 or 3 years old, running around the bleachers. I got Matchbox cars, and I had a trailer. I was pushing them in the trailer, racing each other.
Okay, so he says the bleachers.
Yeah. So, when he was 2 years old, we had taken him, and we, as in Liam's mom, Samantha, and I have taken him to Dover International Speedway. And he got to witness the qualifying on a Friday. And I just remember the excitement that he exclaimed when Kyle Busch had came by at about 165 miles an hour. And of course it was loud. And, I remember him not even wanting to wear earphones. And he just, for the life of me, I couldn't get him to wear these earphones. It was extremely loud. We were sitting in the front row, the front stretch. And when Kyle Busch came by for his qualifying lap, the whole time he had been pushing his Matchbox cars across the bleachers. And for a moment, he had stopped because the wind speed off of that car had blew his hat off his head. And just the excitement from it and watching him go through that, I think that's initially when he started becoming interested in NASCAR when he was 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I know that you're a NASCAR fan and a lifelong NASCAR fan at that.
I've been a NASCAR fan since 1987. My first driver was Dale Earnhardt that I had followed for years. Also got the chance to meet Dale Earnhardt's mom and sister. Wonderful family out of North Carolina. And ever since then, and of course, Mom having sports cars over the years, and the acceleration and the thrill from that, it just seems like it's in the blood.
It's in the blood, yeah, I'd say so. So he says he was 3 to 4 years old. Do you remember him being into NASCAR racing earlier than that? Like, do you have any specific memories?
Yeah, absolutely. So in May of 2013, he was a year old. His mom was at work that night, and the All-Star race was on TV. The All-Star race in Charlotte, North Carolina is where all the best drivers of the series compete for money. And it's $1 million race, and no points are involved whatsoever. So, they drive special cars with special paint schemes, and the battle is just absolutely fantastic to watch on TV, let alone actually being there. But I just remember laying next to him, and he would always lay on his belly when he was a baby, and he was about a year old. He was in his diapers, and he was yelling at the TV, "Go Junebug, go Junebug!" Well, obviously he's cheering on Dale Earnhardt Jr. at that point.
Awesome. So speaking of Sam, we know that you lost your mom when you were 3 years old to cancer. Do you guys want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. I was around 2 years old when she passed away. Very heartbreaking. And you want to tell what happened on the way home when you were coming home from work?
Fill me in, buddy.
Remember when the truck with pennies fell over?
Yeah, it's been an emotional roller coaster throughout the years. As you can imagine, it's very difficult to, for a father to have to raise a child on his own I am very thankful and blessed for the help that we've had in our lives. Liam's grandmother, Liam's aunt, all of us, together have been a significant impact in his life. But a child needs a mother. A mother has a significant impact in a child's life. And that impact is the nurturing of the child, and just all the blessings that a mother can give were just, in 2016 they were gone at that moment. But even though it's been an uphill climb, we're very blessed to be where we are, and to continue Liam's story. There's always signs. There's always signs that from heaven that everything is okay, and that people that that you love and care about, and the people that love and care about you that have gone to heaven have specifically are smiling down. They can see they're with you in spirit. We as Christians, we highly believe that. And the old saying goes that if you ever find random pennies, that somebody is dropping them from heaven.
Pennies from heaven.
Pennies from heaven is what it's called. And, it's hard to have the faith when something like that tragically happens.
Mm-hmm.
But to be driving to work one day, not even a week after she had passed away, and I'm late to work because the whole interstate shut down because a tractor trailer hauling pennies to the Philadelphia Mint had tipped over.
Wow.
And spilled pennies all across Interstate 95. And, from there on out, it just continued. Like, Liam would be at the racetrack and all of a sudden get hit in the head with a penny.
4, actually.
4 total. We have four total pennies each time. And one of those pennies actually had an angel cut out of it. And
you guys believe that's Mom watching you, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the date on that penny was actually 2016.
Wow.
And those pennies, we cherish those pennies. And I have placed a container on Liam's race car that says pennies from heaven. And we put those pennies in there. So, yeah, we keep every one.
That's awesome. I know that at a young age, Liam wasn't able to really express his grief and a need to fill that.
Right.
So I know that you guys started channeling yourselves into fundraising for childhood cancer research.
Right.
Can you tell me a little bit how you got into that? And then we'll talk a little bit about what you've done involving childhood cancer research.
Well, losing somebody you love is always a negative thing. And even at 3 years old, you can tell the negativity and the impact that it had on Liam. So I began work at Nemours Children's Hospital in Delaware, and I was able to network with a lot of people that I work with, some great people, and I was able to kind of turn that negativity into positivity, and we ended up fundraising for the St. Baldrick's Foundation. And Liam and I did that for quite a few years and raised probably, I want to estimate, right around $12,000 throughout the years.
And what did you guys do for the fundraiser?
Well, we dyed her hair green because that was the color for St. Baldrick's. And, we put ourselves out there on Facebook and people donated to it. And, at the end, we ended up shaving our heads. For childhood cancer.
Okay. And how many times did you guys work with St. Baldrick's?
2 or 3?
I think probably about 3 years. I think we did it for about 3 years.
Okay, about 3 years. Was there anything else that you guys did fundraising wise? Any like toy drives or anything like that?
Absolutely. So Liam's grandmother, Paula, she had started Sam's Lymphoma Fight Foundation and Corporation, and that's in memory of that's a nonprofit that's in memory of Sam. Mm-hmm. So with that, just assist him with that, delivering toys to children with cancer to AI DuPont, knitted hats and natural products and things like that. just along the years, we've always been involved with assisting people with cancer, and I just feel that was kind of a blessing in disguise.
Okay. And today you're using that. You're using your talent to raise awareness for childhood cancer research. Can you tell me what you're doing to do that?
I'm racing, and we do this thing so where every lap I do, we donate money to childhood cancer resources.
Okay. And what about your helmet?
What we do is we find someone new with cancer every year.
Every season, yeah.
Every season, yeah. Mm-hmm. And we put the name on a helmet. And when I'm done with that helmet for the year, I send the helmet away to the family.
Okay. So you honor a child each racing season and gift that to the family at the end of the season. And that's how you raise awareness for childhood cancer research. That's amazing. I'm glad to see that you're using your passion for something else that you're passionate about doing. Okay, so we're going to talk about how you first got into kart racing. And when was the first time that Liam was behind the wheel of a kart?
Well, he was 7 years old. So what had happened was, as a single father and only parent, I knew that I had to get him involved in something. And so, I kind of correlated that, he loved racing so much. He loved watching it on TV. He loved going, which is a family tradition for years, going to NASCAR races, dirt races, the Cecil County Dragway, watching drag racing and NHRA, just anything along those lines that, his eyes just lit up, and he loves it so much. So I had an idea, and I contacted a buddy of mine that was already involved in kart racing. I got a little bit of a schedule, and one weekend I was able to take him down to Nicholson Speedway in Chestertown, and he really just stood at the fence line and was so interested in these kids that were going by and racing these cars. And I had asked him, I said, "Is this something that you want to get involved with?" And he said absolutely, like there was no question about it. So we were thankful to be able to put the funds together, working the overtime and putting money away. And we ended up going to Kannapolis, North Carolina to get his first nitro kart from Nick Tucker, which is kind of cool because he literally has his shop and lives right down the street from the Earnhardts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we were able to travel down there, and then, of course, Liam didn't go with us because we used it as a Christmas present. Yeah. But I was able to secure the cart in the garage, and he was able to see it the next morning.
You say we traveled down there. It was you and...
Just me and Dad. Just me and Dad. We traveled. I rented a truck because I didn't have a truck at the time, and it was crazy because it was December and traveling in North Carolina was sunny and 75, so it just was a very nice trip to be able to spend time with Dad. And we traveled about 1,000 miles altogether, but we were able to get the cart back before Christmas Day, and I think we got back about midnight. And for Christmas, Liam was opening up his helmet that we had wrapped with M&Ms because he's a Kyle Busch fan, and his race suit and everything was printed, and it was just beautiful. So yeah.
I didn't know what it was at first. I'm like, that's cool helmet shirt. Oh, that's pretty cool. I was like, what am I gonna do with this? And he's like, come here, bud. And I follow him, and I say, wait, there's a go-kart? And well, no, that's not what happened. I said, does it fit in the stocking? No, not quite. And I said, in the garage. And I ran down there faster than I ever ran.
That's exactly what happened. He was extremely excited. It's probably a little too big to fit in the stocking.
In the garage! Yeah, go kart! Go kart! Go kart! Go kart! Go kart! Go kart! Go kart!
Go ahead.
How am I supposed to get in? Oh, I remember. And then, whoa, my feet don't really touch the pedals.
Were you so surprised?
Very.
That's awesome. I'm so glad. Do you remember, do you remember your first practice? Getting behind the wheel the first time?
I do.
How was it? Be honest.
There's one description. Scared to death.
Scared to death. So you had told me before that he was terrified his whole first season, pretty much.
Right.
So
yeah. So as soon as we got the car off the trailer, we didn't even get out of the truck yet, and he had his uniform and helmet on and everything. I'm like, calm down, bud. It's not time yet. But the minute we started the engine, of course, the engine's a little loud. That's when he started getting a little scared. And I told him, I was like, just it's your first time, and with everything in your first time, just being that dad and being that coach is kind of just to get him started. And now he's turning faster lap times than some of the other kids, and he's constantly in the top 5 and the top 10. It's just absolutely amazing how far he's come.
Yeah, he's always improving himself, that's for sure. I've seen some pretty significant change throughout the last 3 seasons, and I'm excited for this season.
Yeah, I just remember he was so scared of the accelerator pedal, and when he brought the car in the pits, the brakes were smoking. I constantly had to keep replacing the brake pads because he was constantly on the brakes, and just scared to death. But just to watch him grow throughout the whole thing, it's just been amazing.
When do you think it started to feel more natural to you?
After that, season 2 was when I started getting a little bit more comfortable, and this last season, the previous season, I got a lot faster.
So you just ran that whole first season terrified.
Terrified.
Good for you. Not a lot of people would keep going if they were that scared.
Yeah, he had the courage.
You were 7 years old, and you had the courage to keep going and keep pushing yourself. Good for you.
Well, it was actually 1.5. I went up to the second season, but half of that season, my once was teammate kind of helped me out.
So your old teammate helped you out? That's good.
Feel a little comfortable, yeah.
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 Yep.
Yeah.
And
was he improving in the first season at all, even going through that?
He was. He was improving a lot. When he first started out, he was at least 10 seconds off the pace, which, I expected. I was okay with it. The whole thing is just to get him in there and let him have at it. And when they're little like that, they just, it's the very basics. They have to get the feel for the car, and they have to be able to understand how the gas, the brake, and how the steering works and things like that. So, they go through all that, and you just constantly just have to reassure them and encourage them and push them.
And you were learning too in that first season how to work on the cart.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, I went to automotive school, and I went to the School of Tech, and when I was in high school, and I worked for car dealerships, and changing oil, changing head gaskets, doing brake jobs, things like that on cars. That was just something that that I started doing at a young age, and I finally just kind of took hold of that a little bit, and I learned a lot. Electrical work on a vehicle was always my weakness. I could never understand it. But when you got a cart, when you're working on a cart, it's a whole different ballgame. The cart does not have a suspension. It's air-cooled engine. The way that the tie rods work and things like that, how to adjust it is completely different than a regular car. So I was able to network with a lot of people, and those people helped me out, and I'm grateful for that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you had the help. I'm glad you've been able to continue doing this. If there was one thing that you could tell us about how you feel about racing, what would you say? You need to take a moment to think about it.
There's so much fun.
It's fun.
Fast.
Fun and fast.
Cool.
You enjoy it?
Very much.
Yeah. So every day, he practices every day, and we have a simulator that I was able to get for him, and he's on the simulator like all day, every day. Just not because he wants to push himself to be better. I mean, but that is part of it. But it's the fun. He loves it, and I just I got to provide him that opportunity.
Okay. Well, I think that we covered a lot today. We talked about your mom and the fundraising and your love for NASCAR, and we've talked about your first season. Is there anything that you want to add?
No.
No?
Not really.
Okay. Well, this is the High Line with Liam Anderson Motorsports, and we are signing off.